And to those of you who are having issues in your relationships, to those of you who have given a person 1,000% of you and that person didn't give you the same in return, I was asked, how do you make a person pay for betraying you? How do you make this woman pay for betraying you? How do you make this man pay for the betrayal and all of the deception that they have put you through? Let me tell you something. Vengeance belongs to God. Vengeance belongs to our God. Get this down in your spirit. Vengeance belongs to God. And God said, I'm going to pay every man everything that they've done against you. But on the other side of this coin, there is something that you can do to make this person pay for betraying you. So what are you going to do? I want you to do two things. This is what you're going to do. You're going to set healthy boundaries for the rest of your life. You are going to set a healthy boundary, and you're going to stand on this boundary for the rest of your life. The second thing that I want you to do for the rest of your life, I want you to remove anything that you have around of this person. I want you to avoid this person and reduce this person's presence down to the lowest denominator in your life, and that is absolutely nothing. That is absolutely zero. This is what drives people up the wall. The people that betray you, and when you realize how long you stayed and you shouldn't have stayed in that relationship, because sometimes you stay too long. Sometimes you stay in toxicity longer than what you're supposed to stay in it because you get used to that pain. It's not that you love that person. No, it's not loving them. You don't love them. You don't love yourself. This is why you stay, because you've gotten addicted to toxicity. You've gotten addicted to that pain. So it becomes a part of you. You're going to avoid people that hurt you. You got to. You got to avoid anybody that hurt you intentionally. You got to avoid anybody that does their best to manipulate you and to deceive you. Why do you allow people to keep hurting you? Don't ask that person, why you keep hurting me. No, why do you allow it? Let's ask the questions that need to be asked, and let's answer these questions the way they need to be answered, and that is truthfully. We as individuals, we got to stop pointing the finger at everybody. And we need to learn to point the finger at us, because God gave us free will. God showed you the signs that things were going wrong, and you still made a decision to stay. And God showed you, and he let this person open up their mouth to tell you exactly what they wanted from you, what they didn't want from you, how they felt about you, and you made a decision to stay. So if you've made a decision to stay, that's on you. How do you make a person pay for betraying you? By moving on with your life. Just that simple. Moving on with your life. Even in your heartbreak, even if your heart is breaking, even if your heart has been broken in 1,000,000 pieces, as you walk away, you're walking away picking up the broken pieces of your life. When you leave somebody that's betrayed your trust, that's betrayed everything about you and everything that you stand for, when you walk away, when you make that first step to walk out of this junk, out of this mess, because some people are good at making a mess out of your life, and the reason why they do it, because you allow them to do it. But as you begin to put a step forward and walk away from this, you're going to be picking up the fragmented pieces of your life. You're going to be picking up the broken pieces of your life. This is how you pay somebody back for betraying you. This is your get back. Your get back is your success, your level up, by avoiding these people and by reducing their presence in your life down to zero, down to nothing. When you make a person feel not important in your life anymore, that thought they were your everything, they go ham, they go nuts, they go bonkers, they go crazy. They begin to scratch their head wondering, why aren't you tripping? Why haven't you fallen off the deep end? Because the God that you have on the inside of you is not going to let you crack down to nothing. See, this is what people need to understand about God's children. See, you're not going to stay in this mess forever. Whenever you're really called of God, when God has his hands upon your life, you are not going to stay in a rut forever. See, this is the lie of the enemy. The enemy wants you to believe that you're going to stay stuck in that rut. Don't you understand that the enemy assigns people in your life because he knows the plan? He knows you're God's chosen. He knows that God has stamped and marked you as his own. The enemy knows this, and he hates you for it. He was God's enemy first. Now that we're on God's team, now he's coming for God's kids. But just keep in mind, he's already a defeated foe. He's an enemy, but he's already defeated. Not trying to be, not might be. He's already defeated. If you want to pay somebody back for breaking your heart, if you want to pay this person back from manipulating you and taking advantage of you, I want you to take accountability for allowing it, because you had a part to play in it. Then I want you to avoid this person. If you don't avoid people who hurt you, if you never set a healthy boundary from people who hurt you, your life will be filled with relationships that are not healthy. You're going to be in and out of toxic relationships the rest of your life. You're going to keep that repetitive cycle. And God is trying to break that repetitive cycle because he has something better for you. But every time God get ready to pull you out, you listen to that lying devil. You give this lying spirit room in your life to tell you more lies. Why would you listen at a person who is a habitual, compulsive liar? Why sit and listen to them give you sob stories to pull you back in again? It's just a lie. And guess what? They're going to drop you again. They're going to break you again. You think about all the healing that you've done. And every time God heals you, you open up your heart to that same demon. You open up your heart, your spirit, your life, your bank book, your credit card, the favor that God has on your life. You willing to share all of this with the devil? And you think the devil gonna be loyal to you? You think the devil gonna be faithful to you? No, he's not. Y'all share this message with somebody. Y'all share this message with somebody and do it in love. Don't accuse anybody. Don't beat anybody down, because we're not here trying to beat anybody down. We're here with the help of the Lord and the Holy Spirit to bring awareness so that we all can walk in our calling, so we will never miss out on any good thing that God has for us. I was asked this question: Prophetess Nikki, how do I make this person pay? For one, God said vengeance belongs to me. You let God deal with that person. You let God give that person what he needs to give them. God knows how to make the enemy pay for hurting you. Don't you know that? God knows how to hit the enemy and buckle his knee. God knows how to break his ankles. God knows how to slay your enemies. He knows how to defeat people who are trying to defeat you. You know God is going to do all that for you. But in the meantime, you got to set boundaries. This is what you're going to do to pay people back for betraying you. You're going to set healthy boundaries for your life, and you're not going to cross them. Because if you don't cross a boundary that you set, a person not coming in your life and cross that boundary, you're not going to do that. And then you're going to avoid these people. You can't have open arms to a devil that betrayed you 1,000,000 times. No, you're going to close your heart up against people that want to destroy your life. You're going to create a healthy boundary. You're going to avoid these people. That's what you're going to do. And you're going to reduce this person's presence down to the lowest terms in your life, and that is absolutely nothing. When you make a person who's betrayed you feel like they never existed, it's going to kill them. It's going to kill people to the core, because you're not making them God of your life. They thought that they were your everything. They thought they could come in and out of your life like a revolving door. And the reason why they thought it, the reason why this man thought that, the woman thought that you were married to or you were dating, because you let them think it. They treated you like dirt, and you let them right back into your life. Now you have moved on. So how do you make a person pay for all the years they lied, all the years they took? By leveling up your life, by being an independent powerhouse, by loving on yourself, by doing things that are healthy. You got to change who you are. You can't be that same person you were with them. You can't, because you're going to go back. The only way you don't ever go back to a person that almost drug your life down to hell, the only way you don't go back and keep going back and forth to people like this, you got to change who you are. And you got to be willing to go through the pain. You got to be willing to hurt. Because you're going to get over the hurt. Your heart won't always break. You got to get over it. This is how you're going to make this person pay for hurting you. This is how you're going to make these people pay for betraying you, betraying your trust. There were signs, there were warnings in the beginning. But you thought things would get better. You overlooked it, possibly because you didn't want to be alone. But look where it got you. Don't beat yourself up and don't let the devil condemn you. We're here to bring awareness. I was asked, Prophetess Nikki, how do I make this person pay for betraying me? How do I get back at this person? I was floored when I read my email. I'm like, oh, wait. We don't get involved in that. So let me get on YouTube and make a video about this. We turn people over to God. That's what we do. That's how you going to make somebody pay for hurting you. You take accountability for what you allowed in your life, and you turn this demon over to God. And you avoid this person. Avoid this person. And don't be holding on to nothing that belongs to them person. Keep going back looking at it. Looking at all your emails and looking at all your messages. You got to have enough courage to delete their number out of your phone. Delete their email. Delete their contact. If you're not ready to delete that, you ain't ready. You ain't ready for what God got for you. You got to be willing to hurt and keep it moving. Y'all hear me? You got to be willing to hurt. You're going to hurt because you've been attached to this person. But that's a soul tie to keep you attached. When you get ready to move and snatch you back, see, that's a soul tie. This is why some things you ain't got no business in before God brings you into the unity of that relationship. Thank you for tuning in. Share this message with somebody. I love all of you. Talk later. Bye-bye.